Does my hair look okay? Do I look cool?
Your hair looks like it normally looks. Hey, John.
You.
Hey, tell me about Snorton Desert Institute.
No.
Why not? No, I was thinking about becoming a gun tech.
Gunsmith.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I know you really care about me, and I was really hoping to become a gunsmith.
No.
Why not?
We talked about this. I'm not gonna have conversations with you when you have no pants on.
I was just really comfortable.
Look, get on some pants, visit sdi.edu, Sonoran Desert Institute, and all the information is on their site.
I'm just way proud to be an American.
Pants. Pants. So uncomfortable. It's the middle of a work day. Hey folks, pretty excited, not extremely excited, just fairly excited.
Just a little bit.
It's kind of a prick way to start an interview. This is Clint Emerson, author of all kinds of books. As a former SEAL, I think it's part of your MO. You go through SEAL training, you do your thing, and immediately have to write books.
The book deals come before you even get out. You just go ahead and it's part of the contract. Yeah, that's the easy way.
I see. Guys, I'm going to have all of his info below in the description. Just a wealth of knowledge. I wanted to start just kind of giving some general outlines of your background. So what's that look like?
Yeah, it's real simple. I went to Buds, class 203, started with 180 guys, finished with 28. And then we went to 18 Delta, the long course. Mm-hmm. So for those that don't know what that is the Q course for medics in the Army. SEALs go through that, Special Operations Medical School. Then I checked into SEAL Team 3, was there for about half the career, then did a short stint at the NSA, and then finished my career at Naval Special Warfare Development Group, and that's the one that usually makes all the headlines, doing some fun stuff around the globe. I did a total of 21 years. And then got out in 2015.
Awesome. So wealth of knowledge. So he's got the door kicking thing, and then you went all secret squirrel on us too.
A little bit, yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
It was fun.
That's awesome. And so I've been learning from Clint, but from afar. We met for the first time today. I'd picked up his books. It was an amazing internet sensation. So way to go, man.
Yeah, thank you.
But what was the motivation for 100 Deadly Skills? There's all kinds of really cool stuff. You turn a speaker into a microphone for surveillance. I just saw that one.
Oh, yeah.
What was the motivation for this guy right here?
Like a lot of veterans, I think we try and figure out what's going to be our next move, especially when you're getting out. For me, after doing 20 plus years, you fall victim to just, this is all I know, and you have that little bit of a feeling of like, what am I going to do next? How am I going to push myself on the outside? Especially, I mean, for all of us, it's, you have that moment of hero to zero, literally overnight. They give you your blue ID card and they say, okay, thanks. And you're like, that's it. So I knew that point was coming about 5 years out, and I put together a plan, and I tried my best to stick with it. Part of that plan was, how do you promote yourself the best way you can in a respectful manner to your community. And even though books in the SEAL community has become very taboo, and I catch my fair share for it, at the end of the day, they're the best marketing platform out there. So one of my line items I remember writing down was, how do I get people to be more self-reliant, self-rescue orientated? Mm-hmm. And I went to the bookstores and I knew that there wasn't really all that much on the shelf. Right. And when you talk about survival, most people think rural, or I'm lost in the middle of nowhere. I've always thought more urban, especially with the increase in active shooters and everything else. So this first book was all about a nice, down, dirty, easy way to give people skills, and kind of cutting out the rest of the crap. I didn't want to fill it with pages and pages of data you'll never remember. I wanted narrative and then imagery or illustrations on how to do it. So it really is the Martha Stewart of,
it's a very
EDC
it's a very manly Martha Stewart. It's a Martha Stewart that fully transitioned. All kinds of pictures, bluff bottom line up front. So if you don't have a super high IQ, you'll love this. If you do have a super IQ, you should love this anyway. It's really fantastic stuff, and it's kind of manly skills. Every one of these where I look through, and I learned a ton through here as well. And I imagine as I'm going through, it's just so much data. I just tried to break it up into one day, and I'd read the skill and then think about the skill. I haven't moved to the next step of actually do it, replicate. I feel like if I don't replicate it and actually do it, of like, here's making body armor out of ceramic tiles, duct tape, and books. So I got a bunch of Clint's books, and I'm going to turn this into body armor as well. If that's why I asked for it. No,
That's right. A slow bullet is better than a fast one.
hey man, that's awesome. No, so and I think not only is it's manly stuff, it's stuff that like dudes actually would care about, but you're providing a good service. I mean, this could actually help people. I'm sure you've gotten reports over the years as well. It's not just as a SEAL, you write your third autobiography and you're 30 years old. And, that's a right hook to the SEALs out there.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm poking fun. And you do have your autobiography, which hasn't launched yet, which is about to, right? It's
No,
this one.
you are the first one to actually touch it, so consider yourself special.
That means a lot. He signed it already. I'm going to start bidding on this one at 50 grand. So just
there you go.
right there. No, I'm looking forward to reading it, man. You got a really good story. You got a huge background, and you're providing a good service for folks out there. Let's say you got some 19-year-old kid coming up, and what are, if you had to encapsulate just a few skills that you would want to sit down and teach them for whatever? What are some of your go-tos in here?
Yeah, well, there's a couple. There's the ones that are kind of more on the entertainment side, but also very much good information to know that you would hope no one would ever use. And that's most of the skills in the book. But for a young guy, certainly on the cyber side, paying attention to the certain meta tag information before you hit send, protecting your privacy, because we all know that everything you put out there stays forever, or there's someone screenshotting and logging. So even though you try to delete it, it doesn't necessarily mean it's deleted, right? So there's a lot of great cyber tips in here on how to protect yourself and maintain anonymity to a certain degree. I think that's important for someone young because they are already in a world of cyber where they're putting their whole life out there. What we talk about in here is delaying it. Don't post anything real time. Wait 24 to 48 hours before you post. You don't need anybody to know your current pattern of life at that moment in time. So make sure you wait and delay it so no one knows exactly where you are at any given time. I would also say all of the restraint defeat. A lot of people love it for entertainment value, but once again, it's really important to know how to get yourself out of the number one restraint, which we know is duct tape. Number two is zip ties. Number three is handcuffs. All of that's covered in there, and it's really something that, the odds are it may not ever happen to you, but it's good to know just in case you are one of those very small statistics out there that gets captured, gets put in a bad situation, and you need to get yourself out of it.
Right. I'm not banking on dying anytime in the next year, but I got life insurance because I love my family, and who knows? And so it wouldn't take long. I mean, you could literally probably just a couple pages, practice it once or twice, and it saves your life if worse came to worse.
Without a doubt. I like to joke that this book is definitely the most popular book sitting next to a man's toilet in America. So,
that's fantastic. And guys, if you want to pick this up, look at me. You hear my sales voice switch?
Wow.
Hey, I'm working on it now for an easy payment. Check down below this video. I'm going to have links to all the books, so that you can help support what Clint is doing out there. It's helping a lot of people, and it's just good fun anyway. You don't need to read Harry Potter again, right? You're a Harry Potter fan.
What's wrong with magic? You got a problem with magic?
I don't. In fact, I love it. I love it.
I wish I got some of that.
So you mentioned the very first skill you went to is that cybersecurity stuff. Everything you do is cataloged, kept forever. I've done some cybersecurity videos where I had like a computer hacker, and he's like, yeah, there's no such thing as privacy. I'm like, none. He's like, none. It's gone.
Right.
That being said, of like everything's cataloged, it's out there. How do you see this playing out in the future? What makes you nervous now that we're in the middle of the information age and we probably haven't matured enough to realize the implications? I want you to play George Orwell right now. In the next few years or many years, how's that going to haunt us?
Yeah, I think you've nailed it, and it's a great way to dovetail into, cyber threats certainly is a scary thing. I talk only from personal experience. Having spent some time at the NSA, everybody knows that's the National Security Agency. It's 7 times bigger than the CIA, and they carry one hell of a big tech stick, right? And I was at awe at the amount of capability our country has over all of our adversaries on a cyber front. I got to see it firsthand. But on the reciprocating side of that, it's a little scary because, all right, we have all of this capability. So our adversaries probably have some of it. And if you take all those adversaries and you add them all up, now they have potentially the same exact capability as us, as one nation. You take 4 or 5 of those big sinister countries out there, and if they were to align themselves and add up all their capabilities and use against us, that's a very scary moment, right? So I think it's already been predicted that the cyber world is the next frontier in warfare. It's already begun. We just don't hear about it all that often. But it could come in a variety of ways in the future. Something as simple as turning off the power to an entire state, to just messing with us on our election campaigns. So it's already begun, and it's probably only going to get worse in the future. So, and in the world, you mentioned hackers. In that world, we're always on the defense because hackers are always on the offense, and it's very difficult to flip that table unless we go on the offense on a regular basis, which we tend not to do because then it's tipping your hat to the capabilities that we really have. So it's kind of this balance, right? We want to show them what we can do, but if we do, it's a one-time use because then they'll build the defense, and now that capability is gone. We got to come up with something new. So it's a matter of who's going to push the button first, and hopefully the button that's pushed on the other side doesn't affect us as much as we can affect them.
Right. I know a lot of folks, thank you, a lot of folks tuning in right now is like, well, great, domestic threats. In everything you said, it was kind of like us against them. What about those who are like, but what about Big Brother, man? What about Big Brother? It's kind of more of that.
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd speak to it, but I thought, hey, this is me trying to get him to do it. He's not going to, but
here's my 2 cents on that. Is personally, I'm not doing anything wrong, right? And so if someone wants to look at my stuff, go for it. I don't care. What are you going to see? You're going to see some emails for business sake. You're going to see some social media promoting what we're talking about today.
Some love letters.
And maybe some love letters, whatever. Yeah, well, yeah, my buddies, yeah. But for me personally, hey, take a look. I can speak, on behalf of, there were certain companies out there where we would have devices, let's say Fallen Guys, and we needed access to those before we handed them off to family members just to make sure there wasn't classified. And that was an interesting process because we literally had to fly the products to those companies to gain access. There was no trick or easy way through government lines to crack the code and then make sure there wasn't classified. The reality was we had to go to the companies to do it. So if that helps with a little bit of that personal security, that, hey, it's not as easy as people think, and we are fortunate enough to be in a country where you need subpoenas, you need certain things in order to look at your stuff, whereas almost every other country, it's not required.
I'm already anticipating the comments on this video. It's going to be wildfire in the comments.
Everyone's That's okay. Go for it.
Everyone's so sure in the comments, too, of like, actually, technically, it's this. And they unravel this deep conspiracy theory. I'm like, man, you seem really sure.
Well, I'm always open to learning, so I'll make sure I go read your
Yeah,
comments.
fantastic. But a lot of people in the comments, they're not. They've already arrived. They've already learned. So I'm teaching some firearms instruction type thing. It's amazing how often I'm critiqued in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong, and I am learning. I'm on a journey as well. It's happened before. I'll be wrong again in the future. Thanks so much for all this. What's next for you?
So, I mean, these days my day job really is giving a lot of skills in the corporate world. In the corporate world, we call it best practices and protocol. So my company, Escape the Wolf, which is the book came first, and then the company came from it. So I put together this nice travel guide because there wasn't one when I was in. So I put it together. It's self-published, and I just handed it out for free for years because I wanted everybody in the defense world that I touched to at least have something as a guide before they travel abroad. And it's really all about being the gray person when you travel. So from that, it evolved into a company. Now we're doing crisis management for Fortune 500, nonprofits, churches, private schools, you name it.
You're killing it, man. Way to go. So for the just common man, 100 Deadly Skills in the Survival Edition, and then for more corporate stuff, Escape the Wolf.
Right.
And then this is for everyone. I mean, this is
definitely a rated R version of my 45 years of existence. So.
And you look just beautiful. I mean, look at that. You just get all grumpy for that. I can just see the time. No, grumpier, Clint. Let me see the grumpy.
Yeah, this is about 2 hours into it. I'm like, all right, get this over with.
I know you got cool stories to tell. I am looking forward to finding some time to reading it. Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate the time sitting down. Guys, if you don't know Clint, obviously easy to find this stuff. Links down below. And you also have a YouTube channel.
I'm not that good at it. I'm not like you, okay? But I've got, I have a channel, 100 Deadly Skills. It has some cool videos, but mostly I link videos that I've done for other guys like you.
Well, we're doing the same stuff because he'll actually act out some of those 100 Deadly Skills, which is really, really valuable. So I want to encourage you to check out his channel, and of course, in the good professional YouTuber fashion, I'm going to give you a link for it. So, anyway, guys, train hard, train smart. Do you have like a sign off, a pithy thing like mine?
No, just
train hard.
Be safe out there.
That's so lame. You have to work on that.
I'm just getting started.
It's a huge swing and a miss, bro. Guys,
be really safe out there.
pretty good.
See ya.